Ahoy, friends. It's me, Dave Landau. After a long night on stage, I like to kick back with a captain's hat and a fine cigar and watch the Dennis and Andy show. These guys are huge nerds, but they're the kind that you actually want to hang out with. Enjoy them. I do.
Hello. Ahoy, everyone. It is Wednesday. It is the Dennis and Andy show coming to you 2 hours early because that means my daughter works till 5 and I have to go pick her up. That's why.
Whoa. Hopefully, if you guys are joining us, that means you did hit the subscribe and the bell notification so that on the rare times where we do go early or late, you know right when we're going live and you can join us.
That's right. We rarely ever go late because some of us have to go to bed because we're old.
And I'm the younger one.
We try not to keep him up too long because he gets grouchy when he's up too long. So, you know. But anyhow, we do thank you for joining us. Next, over the weekend, we will drop a review of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. We're checking that out on Saturday morning. So we'll drop a review for that for you guys. Let's see what else. Friday, are we doing that live Friday?
We are.
Friday, we're doing a stream with James Lee to talk about his project on Indiegogo.
4 p.m. The Steins.
That's right. So you can join us at 4 p.m. for that. And maybe other stuff. We'll see. Today, though, we have a guest who's been on the show before, and I had a task for all of us, as the title said, the greatest trade paperbacks in our minds, and our task is to come up with 3 of our favorite trade paperbacks. As you can see, I have a lot to choose from. I can tell you, so does he, and so does our guest. Let's say hi to people in the chat before we bring them in. Randy Howell, hello. How are you, Randy? Thank you for joining. Thank you for popping links. Always appreciated. There it is on Indiegogo, Kor-Drath, The Reckoning. Your Kickstarter type, that's cool. We got you covered. Head on over to Kickstarter. You can back it there as well. And you can read the first 8 pages of the book at Kor-Drath.com. Blackjack, hail to you. JP Roca, Texas Mofo. What is up? Everyone, Nicholas Gears in the house. Hello. Phantasmagorical. Hey, ya.
Love that name. I was a huge fan of the game Phantasmagoria.
Oh, there you go. Didn't even know it was a game. Chris, hello. So let me just keep scrolling, make sure. I don't like leaving anybody out before we get started.
I was going to say, just as an update, we are a mere $2,173 away from our $80,000 stretch goal between Kickstarter and Indiegogo. So we're almost there, which unlocks the awesome Lilith playable character card.
Look at that, guys. See, we did have a method to our madness with the Kickstarter campaign. They merge.
That's right.
They merge like a man and a woman and create a baby.
I don't understand. I thought it was all stork driven.
I
just kind of blew it. Larry.
Hello, Larry. All right, guys. Our guest is Drew Geraci, who has his very own YouTube channel. I posted the link to, so go over, subscribe.
Hello, hey guys, good to see you again as always.
You too. Drew does if you haven't looked at Drew's channel, he does a very good job of dissecting storylines and things like that. Sometimes it might be a one-off comic or it might be a multi-part series, but he does a really good job dissecting it. He goes through the book page by page, showing the art and stuff. Very well done. And as a bonus, you never see him on camera. So I'm sorry for what we're doing to you today.
Yeah, I got my big old pumpkin head. It kind of takes up
That's
space.
Let me answer this. Chris says, Andy, are you going to the New Jersey show in June with EVS and folks? Yes, Dennis and I will both be there. So yes, we'll be up in New Jersey in June.
Jersey.
So there you go. Everything going good for you today, Drew?
Actually, yeah, it's been a great week. It was last week sucked. I don't know why, but just how things get all wacky. Yeah, it's like a brand new week. It's wonderful.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
I get it. The Steelers didn't make it to the big game. You were probably a little down in the dumps. It's okay.
But you know what? I didn't mind that play, that controversial play that how San Francisco ended up winning. I thought it was legit, but there was a lot of pissed off Philly fans who just beat the shit out of people in the parking lot. But Philly fans are supposedly, allegedly, if you're at a game, they're real roughnecks. They're just like they get sloshed and beat. If they'd have won, they would have beat people up.
Yep. Yeah. That's for sure.
I mean, that's why you knew they were going to riot, regardless if they won or lost. It was riot time. It's Philly.
Well, dude, before the game even started, did you see the video? They flipped the car.
Yeah.
Before the game started,
really?
Sunday, they showed a bunch of Philadelphia fans in the street, just went up to some rando car, and a bunch of guys flipped it. It's like, dude, what the hell?
That's wrong. The hell?
Coming out waving a gun around, you flip my car like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not cool. It's not
but
cool.
But this episode, you really tasked me. It's a real hard task whittling down collections to 3. I just have to let you know.
It's trade paperbacks. It's not like I'm asking you to pick your 3 favorite comics out of your whole collection.
We did 7, last month or a month and a half ago? And that was difficult. It was comics.
Right. Wasn't
that was difficult.
Are you saying strictly trades or like hardcovers or other ones?
Yeah, hardcover collections.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I might have to call foul if you pull up a Treasury edition. But we'll see. We'll see. It depends.
I don't know.
Well, if it's a Treasury edition that's brand new, like not a reprint of any sort, it doesn't count.
Good.
Trades and hardcovers are reprints.
No, I get what you're saying. Hopefully,
I agree.
You made that clear.
Dennis,
we'll find out.
Dennis, if you pull up a fucking book that's a hardcover or trade, and it's a brand new story, not a reprint.
Yeah,
it doesn't right in the balls. I'm telling you that right now.
We are not Rochambeauing this live stream.
See, as he loves vintage.
Well, I'll go for it. Right?
Well,
I am more of a floppy guy. I prefer the original comics, but there are just good ones that you just have to have the original and a trade for.
Mm-hmm. Well,
fantastic.
I
know you made a video about Kor-Drath, and thank you very much for that. I saw it.
Nice.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Drew, you're up first. So what's your tactic here? Are you going best to worst out of the 3, or are you going, how are you doing this? Are you counting down or counting up?
I start with your worst. I think we should build up and save the best for last.
There's a worst for the top 3 you like?
No.
I know, I'm being silly. Okay, well, if I have to pick out we'll say 3 and then 2 and then 1, okay? So this will be my number 3, which I have to unveil.
We are not doing artist editions, even though those are reprinted stuff. Not everybody owns them. I know actually all 3 of us do, but I don't know if everybody owns enough to do.
And they're not stories either.
We're not doing artist
stories. Yeah.
Well, those things are so large and to hold up and stuff.
Yeah.
My arm can't hold them for that long.
Well, I have to say.
Shit! Now, which volume is that?
And that is that starts with when the Deathstalker gets his comeuppance, the first Frank Miller issue, and it goes all the way to the end, issue 191. And,
so is that like the omnibus?
Yeah, and it's like Frank Miller and Klaus gets his due.
Yeah.
I've got the original. I've got the comics, but
let's see the thickness of that.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, see, I love trades like that.
Something you can really sink your teeth into.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, I told you I loved Daredevil from way back when, and some of the creators, it would go up and down, and sometimes they couldn't keep the same artist. But Klaus, as I mentioned in one of my videos,
Yeah.
he was Daredevil way before Frank Miller because he inked Gil Kane, Carmen Infantino, Bob Brown, all these people years before. And this, they keep coming out with like different omnibuses of this stuff, but I have to stop because I already have I have a couple of trades from way back when, and then I have a couple the newer trades, and this just blew my mind because Daredevil was always kind of, I mean, it was great. I liked it, but man, Miller just took it to the next level to where you were at the end of the issue, you're like aching to read the next one, you know?
I just realized that.
What? Oh.
Pastmaster Dan or Randy's like, I think you're far from the mic, and I realized I never brought it over to us. How's that? That should be better.
You know, we usually do our testing 1, 2, 3 and look, but we were busy chatting today, so we forgot some of our checklist setup.
Let's see. Chris said, I owned a store for many years. I used to recommend the Golden Age with the caveat, if you didn't love it, I take it back. Never took one back. That's a very good store owner.
That is. And
hats off.
You just can't go wrong with that stuff.
Now, to the Daredevil stuff, dude, man, when that stuff came out and I was a kid, those first few issues were great. But I really liked it when Frank and Klaus were clicking to the point where Klaus even pared it down even more.
Yeah.
And then honestly, when Klaus took over as the artist with Frank just doing layouts and then Klaus just did it all and Frank was writing it, I was like, this stuff is fantastic.
Yeah. Here's an example they had in the back.
Oh, lift it up some high.
Oh. Full screen it.
I'll full screen it, but you gotta cover your whole face.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
How's
you
that?
go. Perfect. Yeah.
Layout versus finished piece.
Yeah, I mean that's like totally redrawn.
Yeah.
That's not even the same. I mean, it's barely the same angle.
And this is not as easy to see, but here is.
Oh,
okay. This is one of my favorite pages ever because Klaus is using duotone, and he and like I said, look how basic the shapes are. You know.
yeah.
I don't know if you could. I'm trying to get this
That
one.
almost makes me want to get the omnibus now because I've got the individual trades, volume 1, 2, 3, whatever, and they don't show that.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. I'm going to get a little closer.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, that's so different in so many ways, and Klaus did his own coloring too. You know.
Oh yeah.
And I loved how he always gave Daredevil like rim lighting. It was always like this yellow rim lighting at night. So yeah, this just blew my mind.
That's freaking. That is a good one.
Yeah. It was hard. I went on the caveat this episode is that I'm not going to show any Kirby because in my opinion, that it's like you could do 3,000 list of Kirby stuff. So I'm doing strictly non-Kirby stuff this week. So.
Yeah, you know what? I don't have Kirby either, and I don't think Dennis does either. So I think, and I do have Kirby trade paperbacks and stuff, and I think that's probably why I stayed away.
I was going to say I had some in the probably top 5. But I didn't want to, with my list, I sat there and was going, all right, chances are everybody's going to have this or this. So I wanted to do something different that was still some of my favorite stuff, but maybe a little bit different. So I didn't bring any Kirby.
All right, well, you're up, Dennis.
That's so wild.
I might surprise all of you. My number 3 is neither Marvel nor DC.
Wow.
What?
What could it be? Kor-Drath isn't out yet.
I know.
You stole my line.
For you to say that.
You stole my line, dude.
It's about half done now.
First Man 1 and 2 is not collected, so it can't be that because that's not out yet.
I can't believe you said that.
Cyberfrog?
Oh.
Although we did read that, and it's really good.
Hold on. This can't be true. Are you serious? Raquel Welch died?
Oh, I had no news updates this afternoon, so I did not see that.
All right, Dennis, show your trade. I gotta see.
All right, better full screen it.
All right, full screen. Yeah, hold on.
Something completely different. The Boys. That's right. For those of you who may have collected the original Dynamite comics, You know, and it isn't just because of the show. Garth Ennis wrote it. Garth Ennis is just, this was such a fun comic book. And then in the beginning, this collects the first trade. So it's like, I think 1 through 14. And Derek Robertson and Peter Schneidsberg. So hopefully I didn't butcher that.
Snyberg.
Yeah.
Sny?
I will say
Sny.
it is confirmed Raquel Welch has left the
Oh.
mortal coil known as Earth.
Mm.
She was 82.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
She's
Well,
a babe.
thank you for letting us know. This is why we have really, really great fans,
Mhm.
because they let us know the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, some of the reasons why I like the trade is they actually have, you know, I love it when they do sketch work and stuff
Yep.
in the back, and you get to see, you know, the characters and what they're thinking. There's the Frenchman, love the
Yeah.
Frenchman. You know, they even
Nice
have
stuff.
like sticky note and everything on it. And then, of course, besides the sketches, the other thing I liked about this, they even put in one of the scripts from one of the issues. And I love sitting there reading the scripts. You know,
Yeah.
you see that they do the script work. So all of this is in the back. But the art is really solid in this. You know, as you can take a peek, this is a lot of fun. So, you know, for those of you who aren't so sure, you're not familiar with the boys, I would recommend doing the comic books. It is different from the Amazon series.
Yeah.
The Amazon series is great for what it is. I thoroughly enjoy it. I actually love it, but it is different than this. And I really, really, really like what they did in this. So this is my dark horse one by Dynamite. Probably, I bet neither one of you guys are going to wind up having this, but this is a really good one. I've got the first 3. I only brought the one, and each one, you know, collects about 14 issues. So, you know,
I've only read like a few issues of the boys. So,
yeah, good stuff.
It. Late Kick says History of Craven Last Hunt, good one. Captain America Steranko run, very good. Too short. And Phoenix X-Men.
Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That is good stuff. Right there.
Steranko came so close to doing on, but we'll proceed.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess it's my turn. I'll go with one that finally came out. I've been waiting for it to come out. Came out last year. Brings me back to my childhood. I feel bad because I have to do full. Oh, wait. I don't have to do full screen. Let me do this. Oh, look at that. I just make you smaller. I had to get the old Captain America Epic Collection that collects Mike Zeck stuff. It collects from 267 to 285 and Defenders 106 and annual number 6 of Cap. This was the Captain America that I fell in love with as a kid, starting with issue 275, so not far off.
Yeah.
Dude, Mike Zeck just doesn't get any better on this stuff. I like his Punisher work.
And Beatty's, our pal Beatty's inking his ass off.
Oh, yeah. Beatty was inking it. I mean, I've got this whole run from when I was a child. That's one of my favorite pages.
Yeah.
For spreads.
It's funny because, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, it's just a really, really fun storyline.
That is an epic collection.
It is. But you know what? So
a real epic collection.
Here is one of the bad things, though. I still like the black and white essential stuff more.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
They canned the essential line with Captain America. I can't remember what volume it was, but if they just would have done one more volume, it would have been this in black and white. And I was like, no! But they at least put it out as a nice, thick, I don't know how many, I mean, it collects.
They're usually like 400 to 500 pages.
What?
400 to 500 pages.
Yeah.
Usually the page count.
502.
Yeah.
502 pages.
Yeah.
Don't have to pull out my single issues anymore to enjoy this work. And I mean, it is just so freaking cool.
Yeah, and J.M. DeMatteis set up he set Mike up, then Mike set up John, and they just hit a home run every month.
They did, and it did have, it was a little soap opera-esque
Yeah.
in ways with, Cap's Steve Rogers' relationship with Bernie.
Yeah.
That chick. But, he didn't do tons of soap opera and less superhero. It was always what counts, the superhero stuff.
Yeah.
With the nice, this is what happens when he's, day in the life, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say, I think that was a solid first round since those were the worst of our best. It only is going to get better from here.
That's right. Raquel was based, so not sure she buys into the jab nonsense. Oh, I didn't know she was. Nice. Need to buy the Captain America. Dude, you will love it. Let me tell you. The Kor-Drath saga, I do not own that one, actually, in trade. I bet Drew has it.
It's uneven because you start off with Perez for a few issues, then he disappears because they were Marvel was bouncing him around, FF and all these other titles, and then what was it? Sal did a few issues, of course, and then David Wenzel took over, who I'd never heard of. But the only time I've heard of him since was he did the adaptation of The Hobbit that came out in 1990 that our pal Chuck Dixon drew. He says it still sells like gangbusters across the world. So, but in the David Wenzel stuff, it was all the Avengers up to that point were in the story, plus others, and he made it work. But it's like, you start off with Perez,
Let me read this real quick. The covers on those essentials were always suspect. Mine nearly always ripped off after a few read-throughs. Hey, maybe be gentle, AJ. Just saying, stop battering your comics like you batter your wife, and you wouldn't have this problem. Just saying.
Yeah, I've never had that problem.
I thought he just chucked it across the room.
I know. Maybe when you're done reading the trade, AJ, you don't go, "That was awesome." Throw. Now, speaking of Wenzel, right? It's David Wenzel, right? That's his name.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the dude did what? Like, how many comics did that guy do? And then where'd he go? What happened?
I guess I'd have to Wikipedia, but he did the rest of the Kor-Drath saga and then disappeared. I don't know what else he did. And I just saw in 1990 he did the Hobbit adaptation that I told you about. And he was, the thing that helped is with Kor-Drath, he was a solid enough storyteller to make things work, but it wasn't sexy. It wasn't, you had Perez, and he even had Byrne back then filling in for Perez. How great would that have been if Byrne even finished the story? So, good story, just, a little tepid over time.
But it's just, you got guys like the Wenzel guy and other artists who just, do a few things, and that's it. I wonder if Wenzel, because, as your kid, when you're a kid and you buy this stuff, you're a kid, you get that Avengers, right?
Yeah.
Let's say it's one of John Byrne's issues.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't think, because you don't know that this guy that's drawing it, because that was like 1976, wasn't it? Is only 26 years old. So you wonder, I wonder if Wenzel was a young guy too, and then he just was like, maybe they didn't hire him anymore, or he moved on to better, I don't know.
He probably would have make more money, which always pays better.
AJ says, I only disrespect my old Quasar trades.
Me too. That's funny. We have that in common.
That's weird because none of my stuff is a trade paperback. So you're really beating the crap out of Capullo and Mike Manley.
That's because they've all been disrespected so much there's none in existence.
There's two. There's two Quasar trades.
Yeah, but it doesn't go up to when I started.
Yeah. Which is when I started buying the book again. I've told Andy this from way back when. So I stopped for a while, and then he came on. I was like, "This is cool looking." And I remember you did the Quagmire issue with that guy with the sticky stuff, the tar. But what's weird is I really recommend the whole series. Even though after Andy left, there was about a year of real awful art. Mark Grunwald was a hard science fiction enthusiast, and he said that whole book was every Green Lantern story he ever wanted to tell.
Yeah.
So, and it's also similar powers. So it's like there were so many crazy things that he did, and it's real enjoyable,
Lake Kick says, "Hey, Andy Smith art, does that Captain America Zek book have a reprint of the Deathlock 3-parter?" I got to look. I don't think it does. I think it stops right before that. I do have that Deathlock as a mini trade paperback. So they actually put that 3-parter out.
Well, also there was an epic that came after that one. So
I think it might be in there.
Yeah, it's definitely in there.
I didn't get it because this was basically the bulk of the Zek stuff. I might have to look for that one though. Mm-hmm. So somebody also notes that Dave Wenzel was born in 1950, so he was like a 25-year-old guy when he drew that stuff.
Huh.
$2 super chat from Nicholas Gear. Thank you very much. Favorite Superman trades for each of you? We will keep that on tap. I got to think about it, but we'll definitely answer that question
before the show's over.
I can tell you, I don't mind saying I don't have a Superman trade in my stack of 3. I love Superman. I love Superman. I just didn't pull one, but I'll give that some thought. We'll answer that question for you in a little bit.
Yeah, I have an answer already, but I'll tell you later.
Oh, you can tell us now. I just got to think about it.
Superman for All Seasons by Loeb and Sale.
That's a good one. I have it. That is a good one.
That's beautiful.
It's beautiful art. It's a good story. It really does a nice job of representing Superman.
Like the farm, the farm belt and all that stuff. Okay, here's my second one.
Oh,
I'm gonna say mine's World of Krypton.
Okay.
Wow, we actually want a book with Superman in it, though.
Well, here's one right here.
Swan.
Darwin Cook, man.
Oh, hold on.
Let's full screen that.
Okay.
I got you. That is. You know what? I have that. That's a really good choice. Totally blanked on it because it's so big. It doesn't fit on my main trade bookshelf.
Yeah.
You don't have that, do you?
I do not have that one.
I don't have a lot of absolute editions, but this I just couldn't resist.
I borrow yours.
That is a very good book.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't know really anything about Darwin before all this stuff, and he's just, Challengers of the Unknown. He's doing it like it's an old, black and white newsreel.
Yeah,
and there's so much clever stuff in here where. The colors, his color sense and everything. I'm trying to find one with Flash and what's that chick's name that he's always dissing him. Give me a second.
Yeah, that's definitely Marcus has a trade, but not that one. No, that is the one to get. I scooped that one up when it came out.
Oh yeah, I got at first I didn't get it, but I'm sorry I'm taking so long. I want to find the right.
No, you're fine. Now, see, I'll be honest. I didn't read that. I didn't read that New Frontier when it first came out. I didn't read it until I bought that edition.
Yeah,
and I was just like, wow, just blown away by it. He really connected to like that Silver Age of DC.
Oh yeah, definitely. So there's Superman, Wonder Woman. And what's really cool is he drew her taller than Superman, and she was pleasantly plump. It's like he didn't go with the. He just had his own language with it. He didn't.
Damn, that makes me want to pull it out and reread it just because of that. I haven't looked at that.
Yeah, and that makes me want to borrow Andy's and read it.
Well, the funny thing is, once again, we moved into this house 10 years ago, and I can legit say I have not looked at that book in 10 years since I put it on my bookshelf. Look at that splash page. Holy crap.
He was such a nice guy too. Remember we'd seen him at MegaCon?
Yep.
If he'd still been around, he probably could really help Marvel DC by being an editor in chief, I would think, but then again, take him from drawing such great stuff. There we go. Green Lantern.
Oh, did you ever see the Green Lantern short story he did in this Green Lantern special where he kind of was riffing Gil Kane and Neil Adams?
No, I haven't seen that.
It's in a comic. Somebody in the chat might know the name of it. I can't remember, but it had more work in it than just his. As he told the story, he went through like art styles. So he was kind of doing a Gil Kane in the beginning.
That's cool.
And then he did a Neil Adams-esque with the pen rendering and stuff.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look.
And he did his own type of thing. It was really freaking cool. If it was on my spin rack, I'd just grab it. But... actually, you know what? I know where it is. Hold on, let me get you back to how we were.
Now, if Wonder Woman was more like this, I would really read it because she's like this lusty, drinking, just I don't know. She was a warrior, who could actually smile. That's my hang up with Wonder Woman. I mean, other than the movie, other than Gal Gadot, goddamn Gadot, who just knocks me out every time I see her. It's like that would be the way to play her because she was always so boring. It's like Superman's very much a straight guy, but she was just very stodgy, and also going back to like the 50s romanticism, Cook actually had, smoking and shit like that,
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah. And because it was just a thing back then. There was another panel I can't find where Carol Ferris, she's riding the car with Hal Jordan, and she has a cigarette, but she also has one of those wraps around her head, like with a drop top car. It's very early 60s.
Oh, she was. Oh my God, what is that stupid thing called?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not a babushka.
No, it's a. I guess it's a scarf or a kerchief or whatever you
Here
call
it is. So, Flight by Jeff Johns, Darwin Cook from Green Lantern Secret Files, 2005.
Thank you.
And I'm going to look because I believe it was actually printed, and I know where it is. Thank God. In Green Lantern's Greatest Stories or whatever trade paperback.
I gotta write that down at Secret Files. Thank you so much for the suggestion. I didn't know it existed.
I mean, Randy, he knows this stuff.
Yep. So
Here it
here
is.
I'm gonna do this real quick. This is what I like about doing the story stuff. It's also reprinted in this book if you're into the trade, Drew. Green Lantern's Greatest Tales or whatever. The greatest stories ever told.
Yeah.
I'll show you a little bit of what I was talking about.
Yeah. That's
in
great.
The story.
Yeah, it's just like it's so weird. It's like to the uninformed, his stuff is so, they would think, oh wow,
how freaking cool is that,
man? And the colors too, because I mean it's not easy to put red and green in a panel without making it look like Christmas. It just has its own thing.
It's Dave Stewart, and Dave Stewart just knows what's going on with colors.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find an example of like the Gil Kane I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Blackjack goes, look at Andy flexing his bookshelf.
There you go. Look at that. Look at that last panel right there, Drew, with Hal looking at the girl. That is so Gil Kane.
Oh yeah. That's cool. I love it. Look.
So yeah, I would definitely I definitely recommend this. And then you want to see the little Neil Adams-esque I was talking about. Look at that face of Hal right there looking down.
Oh my God. I've never seen him do that. Man. Oh man. That's so cool.
So yeah,
I'm gonna get that.
I recommend that.
Yeah, definitely.
Highly.
Yeah. Okay, what's your second, guys?
All right, Teen Titans Judas Contract. Oh yeah, that is a good one. I have that one. I just got it.
Yeah, that was a game changer.
My bookshelf. It's flexing because of the weight of the books on it.
They are bending. I will say that. Those poor shelves.
Oh yeah, old romance stuff.
That's so funny. I'm gonna get some wood cut to make one of my shelves stop from bowing because it's about to collapse.
Oh man, no! You know what I do? I actually went through and the shelves that you can actually move.
Yeah,
I flipped them upside down, so the bow would hopefully,
it'll rework itself out.
And our buddies at Pop XP say I could be a hand model. Boy, thank you so much.
Oh, you could have been in Zoolander.
Yeah. Actually, my wife was for Antiques Roadshow. They showed somebody getting stuff out of a, packing peanuts and stuff like that. And it was her because she knew what the thing they pulled out was. It was like
awesome.
some old, China or something like that.
I do call Andy Jamie Pruitt. So hopefully, maybe you guys picked up on that.
Maybe. No. What's your second one, Dennis?
Mine is not a big surprise. It's a DC one. It's one of the things that actually, I was debating between Daredevil and I was wondering if Drew was going to do it, and he did. And then I decided to go with Batman, of course, the Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller, Klaus Janson. I mean, this is what got me back into Batman. I mean, when this came out, this was breaking. This is probably in most people's real top 3, top 5. I mean, it's a classic story. The trade I do like because in the back it talks about the collected edition, and again it goes through and it just shows, you know, some of the. I love being able to talk when they go through the acts and they list it, but there's so much about the grittiness and everything in here. I mean, almost everybody who's in this probably owns the originals, if not the trades, and it's a classic.
Yeah.
I almost didn't. I wanted to bring something different, but honestly, I knew I was going to bring Frank Miller in, and it was between Daredevil and this. So I went with this because I wanted one Marvel, one DC, and one Indie. And I mean, you just can't go wrong with this. This is what got me into Batman and kept me into Batman for many, many, many years afterwards. So with me, groundbreaking.
Well, we probably. I mean, did you also read it real time when it came out, like me and Andy probably did? Yeah.
Oh, I remember when that came out. I remember the wait between issues.
Yes,
I've got. I don't know if I have that trade paperback. I think I do have that one. I still have the original ones I bought as a kid.
Yep, me too.
I've got a trade paperback. I don't know if it's the first trade paperback or that one. But then DC put out the oversized black and white edition of it.
Yeah,
so I had to buy that because that is just freaking awesome.
Yeah. That's I remember, I think of my second year at the Art Institute of Pittsburgh, there was a store down, Ide's comic shop, if anyone knows Pittsburgh, that's like the greatest shop since 1972. I would go there. It was just like a couple blocks away from where the Art Institute was. So I would go over there, and I was kind of tight on a budget, but when Dark Knight came out, I would long bus ride, it'd be like a, hour-long bus ride. And and you're in the bus and you're reading this incredible thing, and you almost want to stand up and, show it like a pamphlet, like it'd be like, one again, crazy guys who yells at you or something like, this is great comics, that
Read
kind of
this.
stuff.
Hey, by the way, did you see this question for you?
No, but I'll what's it like? I mean, I'll probably like it. I like Collector's Comics Library. You can get a lot of good information. But thank you.
And then AJ also says, I have about 6 different versions of that, Dennis.
I bet you do.
Dude, that's like Dan Fraga. That is one of Dan Fraga's favorite all-time books. And he says whenever he sees it, he buys it when a new version comes out, just to have all the different versions.
Well, Batman Killing Joke for a while there, I had, they have 13 printings. I gave up actually after a while because I really did like that. And for the Phoenix Saga stuff, it doesn't matter what format they put it out in. I have it. I keep getting it. Do I need it? My wife's literally like, seriously, you own it so many times. Do you really need another one? And that's the big question. Need, want? No, it's more of a need. Yeah, it's compulsory.
Well, I'm like that with Iron Man, with Bob Layton's Iron Man. Both
Are you really?
First one. Yeah, very much so.
I have the first. Now I have those original issues. I bought them as a kid, but I've got the trade paperback.
Shush, Sonny, shush. See.
I think I have it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got the trade paperback that has the cool Bill Sienkiewicz cover. It was like the first collection they ever did.
I got it too.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
He also did the cover to the first trade paperback of The Death of Phoenix, didn't he? Sienkiewicz, remember? It was kind of purple. Yeah, I used to have that one.
He did. He did painted covers, yeah.
Yeah, I used to have it. I think Dennis stole it from me because, he comes over here. I turn my back for a second. He pilfers my studio. He's it's like he's in San Francisco going into a CVS. He just takes whatever he wants.
And I got my calculator. I'm like, that's under $1,999. I can do it, and Andy can't do nothing.
That's right. I can't prosecute him or anything. And I can't even shoot him.
I was going to take his Superman. He's got his Hot Toy sideshow sitting right here. Yeah, that would be kind of cool to have in my room. So just saying, if it's just suddenly gone, don't know where it went.
All right, you bastard.
So we do all 2 of us? I mean, it's Andy's time, right?
Yeah, it's Andy. Okay. He's debating. He's got a choice of 2, and he's just sitting here hemming and hawing as to which one. Just pick one then.
Fine. Mine is, and I know neither one of you guys picked this. I don't even think Dennis owns this because he has no taste. I'm I love Hawkman. I love Joe Kubert. I love Joe Kubert's Hawkman. This trade paperback collects all the Brave and the Bold stuff by Gardner Fox and Joe. This is some of Joe's finest work, in my opinion. This is before the time of throwing extra stuff in the back. I mean, they say they have a gallery, and they kind of do. It's just some covers. But I mean, it's kind of throws you off because the second cover at the bottom there, Joe didn't even draw the interior to that one. I don't think.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I mean, and that's ridiculous. Why reprint the cover in collect trading card size? Dude, it's hard. You want to see a full page of it.
It's got the great, nice flat color. It's even on newsprint. I mean, this trade paperback, actually, I thought it was cheaper. It was $19 when it came out. So
really.
Yeah, this is man, this thing came out.
What do you see? What year was it printed?
That's what I'm looking. 1989, $20. Wow. And it collects 6 issues. So that was
it's pricey
back then.
Yeah.
For a trade. But I love Joe's stuff so much. These are issues that I'd like to own the originals of, but they ain't cheap.
He's someone I only appreciated later in life. At first, I was very much the Marvel House style, zombie for years. Then as I got older,
That splash page.
I think if Kubert hadn't drawn that, I don't know if Hawkman would have lasted long as a feature. It might have just been like a 2-off character because, he just really brought a lot of that, primitive, muscular, feel to it, of course I'm a sword, but I can't say that yet.
Oh, look at Marcus showing off. I have it signed by Joe and Julie Short.
Of course he does.
Well, good for you.
Wait, Marcus, I thought you got rid of all your books. So I'm confused. Did you keep them or did you just keep your trades? Now I want to know.
Now look at that. AJ, I don't have that one. I don't know if we can be friends anymore, AJ. It collects.
Especially from a guy whose literal icon there is Hawkman. Wow, so disappointed. AJ, I don't know if we can hang out with you at Heroes now.
I know. It collects Brave and the Bold 34 through 36 and 42 through 44. But I also own the showcase edition that, it's 500 pages that collects all this in black and white, plus a ton of Murphy Anderson stuff as well. So this is, if you can find it on eBay, I have no idea what this thing goes for, if it's cheaper or
probably because the newsprint that's probably lessened because people want pristine. So
no, but you don't understand. Some of this stuff could, maybe somebody in the chat look it up on eBay. Some of these older trades go for a lot because they're same thing, low print run.
That's a good point because the trades weren't a thing yet. It wasn't. It was 1989. Very few things got reprinted.
Yeah,
by the big two at all.
With the soft cover for 1895 or 1899. Was it 19 even?
No, 1995. Round up. This
20
soft cover book, 1989, $20.
That's very pricey.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Hookers weren't that much back then.
I know. I got someone buried in my backyard.
This lasts longer than a hooker because a hooker's a good 3 minutes. This baby I've got 30 years later.
Absolutely.
Just saying, Dennis. You got to know how to spend your money right when you're a kid. That allowance doesn't go too far.
Yeah. That's right. And mine were on comic books. And Marcus did. He says he still has all of his books and trades.
Wow.
Yeah, he just stopped buying.
So.
Yeah, I still have all my essentials and my the showcase, the black and whites, and I have a huge stack of short boxes around the corner. They take up so much space, but it's just this great source of everything,
Dude, I remember in Florida when we lived close, the amount of stuff you had.
Yeah,
and just seeing like. You showed before the stream the Avengers Kree Skrull Gallery Edition.
Yeah.
Which there's got to be stuff in the back of that, right?
I can do a real quickie.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay.
Before we go to the third one.
I just got it in the mail today. It's one of those gallery editions, and it's $40, and it's not bad. I mean, and it starts off with Sal, of course, and then you get it to Neil. This is the main reason I bought it is you'll probably figure it out in a few seconds.
Now, does that start with the very beginning of it with the Sal Buscema issue?
Yeah. But this is the one. I mean,
oh yeah,
Yeah, and it's like his actual head is actually larger than a human head. I mean, on this print, it's hard to tell
Right.
from this, but close to my head anyway. But anyway, in the back there is stuff. So, well, they have some of the previous recolored covers.
Cool.
That was one of the new. I don't know. Neil did that. Oh, that was the interior page. That's right. It was the last page of an interior issue of an issue. It has some of the 1982. They did those Baxter paper reprints. Walt Simonson did some filler pages to kind of.
So are the filler pages separate in the back? Like, hey, here's the filler stuff.
Yeah. And because all they are really is they're just like, what happened last? Because they didn't start this Kree-Skrull war with the first Salva Semis. That they went right to Neil Adams for 2 issues. That's because they just want to capitalize on Adams. So that was I think a Bob Budiansky cover inked by Palmer. And there's a name you don't hear much.
Is there a Bella Luna wants to know if there's a Captain Marvel story by Jim Starlin in a book or no?
No, that's much later. This is Captain Marvel does have a this is Simonson and Palmer. Yeah, wow. But this is Captain Marvel does have a major part to play in this. There's also some originals.
That's what I meant. So it has that. Damn it! Now I might have to buy that because it's got that extra shit in the back.
I knew you were gonna say that.
God, see, that's how the company sucked me in. Today at the comic shop, I bought Batman Spawn.
Look at that.
That is gorgeous. That just came out a few months ago, but they just released the new Batman Spawn as black and white, so I had to buy it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm the same way. Oh, there we go.
Oh, that is so. I might have to buy it unless Dennis wants to buy it for me.
Yeah.
Christmas is around the corner.
It's only 11. And a half hours.
For the amount of pain you're putting me through drawing Kor-Drath with the scenes you're writing.
Oh my God, you're still complaining. I hear complaints every week. Oh my God, it took me 10 hours to do this. How much shit can you put in one panel? And I'm like, not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, Dennis. That's what a real friend would do.
Mm-hmm.
What's this? I'm reading some more comics. DC did one too. Secret Origins of the DC Superheroes. I have that one. You're not talking that size, but I've got the regular size. AJ, you have any of those unwrapped DC collections? Oh, AJ, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. The Jim Lee Justice League, Jim Lee Batman Hush, Andy Kubert Batman, Andy Kubert Flashpoint, Dave Finch something, Greg Capullo Batman, and I even have the Ultimates 3 by Joe Madureira hardcover that was reproduced just from his pencils.
See, Hush,
as
another
well.
Good one.
So yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Wow, look at that.
We all complain. Well, Dennis doesn't.
Actually, they didn't hear me complaining. They heard you complaining.
You shut your mouth.
They literally do. This is the internet. They can play it back and literally hear you complaining live.
Oh, can they?
See, just like that. Yep. Show them. You gonna do the baby one?
No.
Oh.
Should I go to my third one?
Yes,
you
we
should.
are on to you. Let's see what your top pick is.
This is a late, what do they call late entry? That's exactly it. Because I had another couple omnibuses. I was going to get the Simonson Thor, like you mentioned, but I just got this. Okay. The Steve Ditko.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. I got to close something.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. Now,
reproduced from originals.
You know whose originals those are reproduced from?
Yeah, right? Sheldon Drum.
That's right.
Yeah. And it has a nice texture on it, too. Like I don't know what you call it. But I just bought this, and I just got blown away. And also, the colors are supposed to be true to the printing process. Like it's actual pulp paper that they used at the time. And it's it's great to see the size, just to see all the little Ditko stuff in there. And I mean, Ditko I didn't appreciate as a kid, of course, because when he came back, he was kind of his stuff was a little simpler, but I was just, I was a snob. If it wasn't Neil Adams or Jack Kirby, I didn't care. So I was trying to find one with the Vulture. Yeah, but I mean,
So
they have the ads.
Luna says, "I hate you, and you have everything. I don't have everything. I don't have Dennis's love or respect."
Never get that.
Well, they got that plus.
Now, how many issues does that thing cover again?
It covers like 16 of them plus the first annual. So let me try.
I'm with you. When I was a kid, I wasn't a big Steve Ditko guy. I still prefer John Romita Sr. Spider-Man over Ditko, but I can look at Ditko stuff now with a new eye for it and be like, man, that is really cool shit.
I mean, actually, I didn't really know much of Kirby either. I just know I liked these old stories, and the stories kept running forward. It's like you couldn't put them down, so I guess that after all these years, I came to the realization that I do like Steve Ditko.
What Chris wants to know, what's the actual, like the Spidey book? What I'm trying to remember, what company put it out again?
Passion. Hold on a second. It's TA. There we go.
Yeah, hold it up again for these guys. Oh yeah, that splash page, dude.
Yep, that's the annual with all those splash pages.
Yeah.
It is.
So it's Passion. The book is huge. I mean, look how big that thing is. What's the going price for that sucker? I don't remember.
It started at 200, but you get it for 150 on Amazon, believe it or not. So I don't know if it's like the shitty economy or what, but they've lowered the price. Here we go. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which was they reused that for the little trade paperbacks. Those little what do they call those? Those little paperbacks that were the size of a small paperback.
Yeah.
That was the cover for one of them. So, but this is a late entry, and I was like, there's a Kirby one that my cousin has that's awesome too, but it's like I've just never really had. I'm jumping around. I'm going back.
Yeah, go ahead.
I also have the omnibus Marvel put out 20 years ago that reprints every single Stan Lee Steve Ditko issue up to issue 38, and then the two annuals between 1,000 pages between two covers.
Well, I know that they announced they're doing didn't they announce they're doing an X-Men one, or are we just imagining that? Because I know that's the one
we were talking to Shelton a couple of weeks ago about it, and we were in a shop, and he said, because he knows I'm a big X-Men fan, he goes, "You keep asking me," he goes, "It's official. They are going to be doing an X-Men one." And I was like, "Really?" Because again, I can't get enough of that. However, he said, they have not specifically asked me for my X-Men, so we do not know whose X-Men, if it'll be Shelton's or if it'll be somebody else's. We do not know, but yes, they are.
Now, other books, I don't know if you've gotten them, any of them, Drew, that are coming out in really nice formats. Have you seen the Penguin ones that are coming out? That Black Panther, Captain America, and Spider-Man hardcover with the gold leaf?
Yeah, I was wondering what those were like.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, matter of fact, we just did videos, so there's some videos you can check out if you, otherwise we can show you off there. But yeah, just go onto the DNA channel, and we did. I did 2 of them, and they've got 3 more coming out.
Wow.
Yeah, they have. So I've got the Black Panther and Captain America. I don't have the Spider-Man because I just don't care enough. But in September, Avengers, X-Men. What's the third one? There's three coming out in September.
Fantastic Four.
Oh, Fantastic Four, Avengers, X-Men all drop in September, and all 3 I want. And the hardcover goes for $50 on Amazon. When I got the 2 that I have, they were $25, and that's what the softcover goes for. So,
what kind of format is? Because there's so many new ones out that Marvel's. They're doing like the little book of such and such. They're doing, the Penguin Random House, all that stuff. Which, I think
he's got it. He'll grab it.
Okay, good.
They're very nicely done. It's got the gold, the gold sides. It's really well done. $50. It's actually a decent,
nice embossing, gold leaf.
Oh wow!
I tell you, the only thing they dropped the ball, and and I'm being picky because this is a nice hardcover book, right?
Mhm.
They should have put in one of those strap bookmarks.
Yeah, yeah.
But they have a nice write-up in the beginning. So they have, just a great introduction, a forward in the back. They have appendixes for it. And then this one, the Spider-Man one's pretty chronological.
Mm-hmm.
This one, it's chronological, but it jumps around. So it starts with Tales of Suspense 59. Then it goes to 63 through 68.
Mm-hmm.
Then it goes 75 to 76, or to,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, it goes from 75 to 81. Then it goes 92 to 95.
Wow.
And then it has the 3 Steranko issues, and that's how it ends.
Wow.
And
That's
the reproduction, it's not the newsprint. It's just really bright white paper, but with the original coloring.
Well, that's okay. That's beautiful stuff. That's great.
So these are well worth it. I can't wait for the Avengers one, because the Avengers one jumps around too. So it has Jack Kirby, Don Heck, and then Buscema.
Yeah, that's cool.
The X-Men one jumps around pretty good, and the Fantastic Four, I think, is pretty early, just straightforward.
It's got a run, and then it skips some, and then it's got another run because it brings. Yeah, so they're all good. They're all worth the money.
Mm-hmm. Was that your third one, Andy?
No. I was just showing that because we brought it up. Hold on. AJ had a question too.
Okay.
Question for the panel: what is the most prized collected edition each of you own? I'll have to give that some thought. When I answer about the Superman trade as well. But no, Dennis is up with his number 3. Well, it's a biggie.
This might be, I mean,
I don't even know if this counts.
So it counts.
Oh my God. It collects literally years.
Oh, so you mean literally what Drew's first one was? Oh, you had no problem with Daredevil. Wow, you're an ex-racist. That's what you are.
Whoa, I am an ex-racist. I never was one.
Those filthy beauties.
I'm thinking about bringing my Marvel Masterworks, because I really loved the Masterworks when they came out. The way everything was that was in it. But this is the omnibus.
Mm-hmm.
This one, it collects everything from Giant Size #1 all the way through issue 131. I wish they would have done it differently. I wish they would have done it from Giant Size through 137, because at least that would be the death of Phoenix. I'm not quite sure unless they really have a limit, a limited number of pages. Yeah. But it's massive. In the back, it actually has, some of the covers and prints. That is probably my favorite run in all comic books.
You saw me take this from Dennis and start flipping through it. He has, I don't even want to hold it up. He has a tissue.
I do. That's what I use for bookmarks.
And it's gooey.
I would never do that.
God, I know you like Jean Grey, but God, he even has a bookmark on a page where she's being held by the beast.
I've got multiple pages bookmarked.
How creepy is that?
I mean, it can only be so strong.
Sure.
So long.
DNA.
So I have that too, and I love it.
That is disgusting.
No, because I don't have any good. I'm not using metal bookmarks in here and stuff like that. Yeah. So if you just take a tissue or a square of TP or something like that, that makes really nice. It doesn't affect the paper. Mm-hmm. It doesn't damage your book at all. So yes, I have multiple pages because I have different bookmarks and stuff in here. The storylines that they have in here, like, the Sentinels. Gotta love the Sentinels.
I bought that new off the newsstand. I tripped out. I missed the new X-Men until that issue. I'd only see the reprints like a year prior, and that was my first new X-Men where they're having Christmas and the Sentinels come. My mind was blown. I was like, who are all these people? They're so cool. And Cochran was at his peak with him and Granger.
And of course, for me, the start of it all, the classic Jean Grey coming up out of the ocean as Phoenix.
It's weird when he opened to that page, you heard this little as they pulled apart. It was kind of gross. I don't know
Yeah.
if the mic picked it up, but I heard it.
You hear a lot of shit.
But I know what you're saying about the omnibus, because it ends at 131, and the seeds were planted a few issues prior with that Jason Weingard, who was the also mastermind who was manipulating Jean when she become the Phoenix. Yeah, that's a great one too.
And plus, they have all the X-mails that are in there. Another thing that I loved reading. So yeah, you've got the X-mails in each of the issues that are in it. I mean, for me, this is just hands down my favorite.
You know, it's funny. It's 2023, and if you go to a girl swim team, you'll find some X-males on the swim team.
You will.
Ah,
Right? That is Magneto. That is just
that's
it's
perfection.
just great stuff.
Marcus wants to know, Dennis, did you like Byrne or Cockrum better? What child are you ditching? What Sophie's choice will you make?
I will do the same thing I do to both of my children.
Mm-hmm.
I like them equally.
Wow.
Exactly.
It's just like.
Yeah. You know what?
I'm telling you, there is no wrong answer in that period. Even the original X-Men, even 1 through 93, even with the reprints and stuff, I enjoyed it. There wasn't a bad issue in there. There were some you just that weren't. They didn't have any big characters or anything in it, but everything up through it. And then you got Days of Future Past, 141, 142. And then you've got Kitty Pryde and Christmas in 143, where she's left alone. I mean, that is just classic stuff. I have other omnibuses, and I've got, like I said, all of them in like the different Marvel Masterworks, but those were all done really beautifully too. But this one just has bang for the buck. It just has so much more in one.
Oh, yeah.
I love this.
Well, I have to say one caveat, though, is Granger and some others inked the original run. And then when Cockrum came back, Rubenstein inked it. And I love Rubenstein and everything, but I thought he diffused some of the hard blacks that Dave Cockrum would put on his pages. I loved Rubenstein on Byrne and all this other stuff on Captain America and such, but that was kind of a mix mash for me. And
really, see, I liked. I wasn't a big fan of what Granger did over Dave. I liked it when Dave inked himself.
Yeah.
There was that one issue, 105, that Bob Layton inked. I thought was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Drew, little bone to pick, by the way. How dare you besmirch Fire Lord like you did on one of your videos, you son of a bitch.
Yep.
I love Fire Lord.
I love Fire Lord too.
One of my favorite characters. I've got his first appearance in really nice shape. I've got another issue that's in shit shape on my spin rack. I love that issue that Bob inked over Dave Cockrum. How dare you besmirch Fire Lord? Good Lord.
Oh, dear. This will be our last conversation ever.
Now the Sentry, I like the Sentry. This is another one too. You didn't like this. You don't like the Sentry costume design.
He was just a goof on Superman.
I know, but I love the costume design.
Really, it's so meat and potatoes. I mean, it's just like
Dude, that's what makes it so classic. I love it.
Yes, but I mean, you get the same thing out of Daredevil. Daredevil looks more cool because he got a mask on.
But it's also based on when it was. Daredevil was awesome because of the timing when it came out. Even I didn't mind the classic yellow, the original and stuff.
Yeah,
but the red just boom. I mean, fantastic. So speaking of meat and potatoes, Andy, what's your final meat and potato book that you couldn't decide on?
Right here. I'll give you a hint. It's a showcase, so it's in black and white, so I can love the art the way it should be. And it is one of my favorite characters.
Can I guess?
Yeah, you can guess.
Jonah Hex?
No. Are you?
Oh, that's a good guess.
Are you on drugs? No. Green Lantern Showcase, Volume 5, all the Neil Adams stuff. I love Green Lantern. I love Neil Adams. Having a big phone. I've got all the original issues, but having this, it's got Dick Giordano Green Lantern stories that were in the Flash. It's got Dick Dillon stories that were reprinted in the Flash, inked by Dick Giordano. Terry Austin did some inks on those backup stories. The Neil Adams stuff. I just love this book.
it's like an artist edition before artist editions, and it was affordable. It's like you could learn so much from those essentials. That's why I got pissed off when they discontinued them. The essentials / showcase. Because I mean, like I had an assistant in last 2 years before CrossGen, and I did a Green Lantern half an issue over Dougie Braithwaite, and it wasn't a good match for me. I wasn't quite. I'm taking the hit for this, but there was a background with some space, and my assistant, it just said stars, so I handed him like the essential X-Men, one of the eras where Byrne and Austin did it, and he just did a great job on the background. So it was like, it's like you learn from that shit, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, these are still first issue that Neil ever did.
Oh
He
yeah.
painted himself. These are still two of my favorite pages. The first page,
Yeah,
and then just the figure of him flying in on that second page. This is, I mean, issue 76 is my favorite one.
Yeah,
because he painted himself.
And so the art, you know, you learn. It's like you're seeing his actual art there.
And the stories by Denny O'Neil were a little.
Yeah.
It's 1970, so it's kind of like, oh look, here's a Jesus-looking character, and and you know, a little foo-foo. The John Stewart story was real good though, and introduced him.
Definitely.
So that, you know, picking 3 was definitely tough.
Yeah.
I had to go with that. JP says Green Lantern, yes. O'Neil and Adams, no. No, Green Lantern and Adams, you can dump. Like Denny wrote great stuff throughout his career, Batman, stuff like that. I don't love the stories, but I love the art.
What's funny is I have the Baxter paper issues that reprinted around 1984, and Denny O'Neil. What's interesting is Denny O'Neil was exclusive Marvel guy at the time. They allowed him to do the foreword for the first of the miniseries that reprinted those issues, and he said, looking back, he was terribly embarrassed about how ham-handed he was in his stories, you know. So he's at least he was honest about it, because you know, I mean, they do get preachy, and then like each issue they had to deal with, you know, the population explosion, blah 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 blah. And it was like, you know, it was so, but the art is so breathtaking, you don't care, you know.
You know, one of the things I was thinking about when Andy had asked about this, you know, said, hey, here's a cool idea. I started thinking about, well, what were some of my favorite books? But I was like, or runs, but not everything's in trade paperback. So like Shogun Warriors, that awesome 20-issue series that they did. I want that. As far as I know, and you guys correct me if it's out there, I don't think they've ever done that. Rom Space Knight, 75 issues and a couple of annuals, that's never been collected. I'm a huge Robotech fan. The original Robotech stuff, I don't think ever was collected. I'm not sure about Akira either. They, I know Titan did their new Robotech, their redo, but I'm talking the classic stuff. These are all things that I'm really surprised. And if there is one, let me know, but I haven't seen them on
if those idiots at Parker Brothers knew the gold mine they were sitting on, they would do like 3 or 4 Romnibuses, and they would sell like that, and they'd have a second printing in no time, because Bill Manilow, he was so entrenched in the Marvel Universe, and he entrenched it in the other stories he did that were not Marvel Universe oriented. So Marvel can't reprint it, Parker Brothers can't, but they would make a fortune. I have every issue of that, but I will swear to God I would buy them all over.
Same here. I own every issue, multiples of some, especially the X-Men #1, because they appeared in like issue 17, and the stories were great. And if they put that out as an omnibus or even in 2 different ones, because you know 75, that's a lot of book, I would buy it. I mean, in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah. Past Master Dan says, only suggestion, but using clear separators on the spinner rack will help the book stand better, and you can see the cover. I mean, I'm looking at my spinner rack, and I've got comics bent over and stuff because I shoved so many in. That's part of the charm of the spinner rack, guys.
Yeah, see?
That's right. That's what you're supposed to do. Any book's worth any salt on my spinner rack, I've got 2 copies of, just so
one of my very first Spider-Man books ever. So Romita with Jim Mooney finishes. Beautiful stuff. So,
let's see. Oh, look at that. AJ's going to order the Sigil Omnibus this month.
Ooh.
Yeah, if they do well, you know, you'll get 2 issues of me in that Sigil Omnibus. Will they send me one? No. Well,
No.
wait a second. Is it collecting the whole? Is
I-
that Central Omnibus collecting the whole run?
I'm not sure. I think it is actually.
Oh, then my 2 issues will be in it.
Because I was listening to Chuck's, Ask Chuck Dixon episode, and he said he's in the book. He wrote half the books, and he's not on the, listed on the Amazon, thing, which is weird because they've been giving Chuck a lot of love lately because they're doing his Moon Knight finally in omnibus form with Sal Velluto. I'm like,
yeah,
finally. I wanted to buy. See, I have this rule. I should every time I complete a run of books from back issues, they come out with a reprint. It's almost like a magic thing. It's like I hate that. So I just held out. It's like I want to get all those, Mark Spector Moon Knights, but they finally have an omnibus coming out, and he's credited, and that's
Marcus, who's Marvel is. Marvel owns all the cross-gen stuff, so they're actually putting out a sigil omnibus. I'm assuming they'll see how well it does, and if it does well, they'll throw out the other ones because there's roughly only 35, 36 issues of every book.
Yeah,
maybe a little more in some of the books. So here's the hope, and we get that first omnibus. So I've got a big chunk inside of it. Not that I'm expecting to get a free one or anything.
You know what I'm amazed about is there are so many people that have fond memories of cross-gen books. And some of them I think are like more than, or maybe they read them later. I'm like, where were you guys when we were doing this shit? It's like we were kicking the major fucking ass. But apparently a lot more people read our stuff than diamond in their sales figures. You know how they go. Yeah, they try to keep us out of the previews section. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
We had enough books out that we could actually get a section of previews cross-gen, but the DC and Marvel said, nope, not having that.
Yeah. So Chris says, do we prefer traditional paper art or digital, and why? Right now on Kor-Drath, because they both have their pluses and minuses. On Kor-Drath, I'm doing the whole book, traditional, no digital at all. On First Man, I drew the pages digital, then I printed them out full size on Bristol and non-photo blue and did the inking traditional. I do prefer traditional in regards to inking all the way.
Sure.
I like having originals, and I just like it better. So that's what I say.
Yeah. I'm actually I can't say it, but I may be inking a graphic novel for a smaller press company, and which is fine because I've just been anxious for something regular. Anyway, also I'm doing a webtoons. I'm planning to do a webtoons story for Chuck Dixon's Arkhaven comics, and that's going to be I'll draw it and scan it, and it'll be digital. So, but ultimately, he had a bunch of these Arktoons that came out in a big collected, anthology, and so maybe that'll end up there. So
that's cool.
And in digital, I mean, hell. I prefer the books, but I can read digital if I can't get a hold of the physical thing. Or some of the Arktoons are really good, like My Sister Suprema. Have you seen that one? Yeah, it's the one where the girl gets superpowers, but she wants nothing to do with it. And her geeky younger brother's telling her how to be a superheroine. It's hilarious. So I
like, when it comes to reading stuff, I still prefer reading print and holding the book. I mean, if the only way is digital, then I'll do it. But
I'm a paper kind of guy. I will open it up, especially old ones. If I go to a show and buy some old ones, open them up, smell that paper. You got to love that acidic smell it goes in there. I just love it. However, if I'm traveling, when I go on long vacations or whatever, I can download a bunch of the comic books digitally right onto my tablet and take them with me. And it's just one device there. Read them in the car. If we're in a hotel room, I don't bother anybody with the lights. I can just sit there and read it. It's got its pluses, but if I have a choice, I'll read paper every time.
Well, one thing you mentioned, it makes a lot of sense, is when it comes to reprints, I have to have the physical. But if digital, the new stuff, I'll read digitally,
Right.
So,
I mean, I like digital Penthouse because it's a lot easier to wipe a screen clean.
You got to get one of those sneeze guards that they used to have at salad bars. You know what I mean?
What was that, Drew? I'm sorry.
I said to get one of those like sneeze guards that they have at the salad bars, you know.
Oh, there you go. I wouldn't call it a sneeze.
And then when it runs down, and you have a little, you kind of let it collect in this one area and then throw it away, like a gutter at the bottom.
Exactly.
Nice and easy. Hose it down. This went horribly wrong.
I bought Hush on Kindle and it was a mistake. Yeah, I like comics on paper and stuff. Like I've said before, I'm now more into collecting stuff that is either a full run. Before we went live, I was telling Drew I just got Black Goliath #1 in really nice shape, and I have #5 because it's cover dated November, and then it's issue 5, November 5th. That's my birthday. That's why I bought it. And then I realized, oh my God, it's only a 5-issue run, so I'm going to buy 2, 3, and 4. But I will tell you guys something I just did get off eBay. It hasn't showed up yet, but I'll do an unboxing. I got a 13-issue run, a complete run, 13 issues from 1990. Marvel Comics. Hold on to your pants, Drew, because you're going to want this. NFL Super Pro.
Get out of here.
I had to get it. Jose Delbo started as the artist, and I had Jose as the teacher.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
Yep. I like the way the NFL Super Pro costume looks.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Herb Trimp took over the book after Jose left, and I got to meet Herb and have a nice conversation with him. It's only 13 issues, 12 plus a square-bound special edition that Joe Jusko painted the cover for. So I was like, you know what? I found it pretty cheap, and now I'm going to get the whole run.
Jose Delbo is one of those guys that kind of fell down the memory hole because, he's great. He's solid. Did so much stuff for DC in the 70s. He did.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes he would do random. He would do like even Jonah Hex. Then he would go to, Secret Society of Supervillains. Like they just kind of threw everything at him, and he made it work.
Dude, Jose had a long run on Wonder Woman.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it was nice looking stuff. He did work on the Superman daily strip towards its end.
Oh yeah,
which was good stuff. Newspaper.
He was part of the Filipino invasion, right?
Jose? I don't think so. Was he?
I thought he was like
I think Jose
and all those other guys.
No, Jose's from Brazil, I think.
Oh, but I mean, I don't mean. Did he get on the? Did he teach through Sergio? Did Sergio recommend him to go to school or what?
No, Jose was my teacher when I went to the Kubrick school.
Oh, okay.
He was there already. He taught Sergio, I believe. He was still teaching there I think he was still teaching there when Sergio went. I don't remember when Jose retired, but I had Jose as a first-year student. He was fantastic. Oops, sorry. I loved having him as a teacher. I loved having him just as much as I love looking at Kor-Drath The Reckoning. That's right, guys. Kor-Drath The Reckoning. This episode brought to you by Kor-Drath The Reckoning. Now available at your local Indiegogo and Kickstarter stores. See what I did there? It's like CVS.
I did. Yeah, I caught that.
Yeah, you got to work it in. Kickstarter's doing great. We're at $1,850 on Kickstarter. If you haven't backed it on Indiegogo yet, head to Kickstarter, back it there. Or you can just go to Indiegogo and back it there. Guys, we are very close to the $80,000. What is that?
I ordered mine.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We are very close to the next stretch goal of 80,000, which gets everybody the beautiful. Let me find it here. Beautiful Lilith character card. She's a playable character that unlocks at 80,000. Everybody already gets the Kor-Drath playable character card, the Adriana one. Everybody gets a copy of the 7x10 mini print of the map, which
map of the Shattered Reach.
That's right. Oh, it's right here. Everybody gets the map of the Shattered Reach as well. So the reason we started the Kickstarter is because some people either do one or the other. They don't do both. Now, as Dennis knows, I like to go both ways on crowdfunding, Indiegogo and
only on crowdfunding,
yeah, crowdfunding that is. And I'll back on either one, but some won't. So we said, let's do a Kickstarter so no fan is left behind.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was asking if you guys are D&D players. The answer is yes, since about 83, 84, all the different versions. We actually have a gaming module, which we're coming out with, which Andy can pop up here and show you.
Oh, look at that. We got a bunch more backers, it looks like. Nice.
That's great.
So you guys, you can read the comic and then you can play the game. And so I am working on a retro style module, very similar to like the B series, the X series from back in the day.
Yeah.
And then there it is, and covered by Bart Sears and ink and colored by Dan Lawless, as somebody just said, flawless Dan Lawless.
That's right. And so we debated. There's a page from the book. I kind of debated showing, but because there is, if you go to the FAQs, it does say this book is, pushing the boundaries of PG-13, maybe touching on a little R. There's definitely a page in the book that I censored that I'll show you guys now. There's the censored page. We've always said Kor-Drath and Adriana are more than friends.
Yeah.
It's a nice touching page.
Well, I mean, it's
we're all adults here. I mean, just because when I drew that page, I got a little giddy and chuckled to myself as I was drawing it.
The funny
doesn't make it weird.
We did say, we were just talking about it this week. Somebody had asked, and I was like, I want it where a high schooler could take it into school and be able to read it in front of their teacher and not get kicked out of class, sent to the principal's office. Yeah, I am old. So you guys were asking earlier. So I literally, just before I came over here on the DNA channel, I posted a full review of EZD20 role-playing system, and the one that I've decided to go forward with is the index card role-playing game, the ICRBG. I'm doing full reviews on them. I did some quick flips this morning on them. It all boiled down to Hasbro / Wizards of the Coast OpenGL debacle, pissing off all the fans, realizing that we can't trust them coming forward. Yeah. So it'll be easy enough to convert into whatever edition, first, second, third, fourth, fifth that you're playing. Paizo. And it'll be mainly story driven, but that will be the module. Will work in, and the storyline will tie in very closely with the comic book. So you can buy one or the other, but the full experience is going to be having both of them, even if you don't role play.
You put a lot of work in that. Wow.
Oh, yeah. AJ says, have you seen the level of violence in this, Dennis? Of course he has.
I hope so. And I keep going, more.
Randy says, wait, that was Adriana and not Lilith pulling a fast one? Oh, no. You got to read the book and find out, I guess.
Right.
I would say keep pushing the envelope if you want, because this is a cruder time. It's barbaric. It's early. It's, people have basic needs, whether it's food, sex, or, treasure. And what is it? The 3 meals of the day. And so I don't have a problem with that.
No, it's like a cross and a vampire. I got Garlic. We talk role play, but I'm also doing the virtual role playing stuff. I am going to make him role play through this module when it's all done.
Where'd he go?
He's actually going to have to roll dice. It's going to be funny.
Yeah.
Keep the Star Trek stuff out of my funny book, Dennis. It's not in it. Don't worry. If I ever saw that, I would red line it right up. Okay. That's why I knew if we went with a barbarian book, he couldn't pull that shit, because there's no technology like that back then.
That's right. He just hits it and goes up. Well, the other thing is, you guys really have been messaging me, and it'll be after this project is over with. But you guys wanted to know about the Shattered Reach. Will I do a role-playing book with Kor-Drath moving forward? I got licensing for the ICRPG to use all the game mechanics and everything. I have to build my magic system works different from scratch. But yes, that will be a long-term project. I will be making a role-playing game based off of this world.
It's true. And you never know what we do with that. Is there a tribe of Vulcans in the book? No, this book is cool, Randy.
Whoa, there's an implication that Vulcans aren't cool. They're cool and logical.
AJ's fixated on me.
Yes, don't get him started.
Busting your balls.
I know. Drew, we got to get going. Thank you for joining us. After hang back, don't sign off after
Okay. Also, if people want to, I do commissions.
I was going to say
commissions and pencil and ink commissions. You get me through Facebook right now. I'm updating my website. Going slow as molasses, but that'll be a place to go. But for right now, I'm doing Facebook for commission. Just message me.
Very good. I think you have a few novels too, don't you?
I have. I just so happen to have 3 of them right here.
Oh my God! Look at that. He's got 3 of them, no less.
Yeah, they came out. They're Amazon exclusive, and I've gotten some nice reviews from no less than Chuck Dixon, who says terse and funny shotgun prose. So that's all you need to know. And the first 2 chapters are previewed on Amazon, so you don't have to buy anything, even if you don't like it. But you'll like it.
You will. And subscribe to Drew's channel. Go check it out. He does really have a fun channel.
Thank you.
Like learning about past storylines and stuff that you might have forgotten about or never knew about in the first place, like me. And you might find some books he goes over that you're like, I got to go buy that, like I did with a couple that he reviewed. So, and it's all great Silver Age, Bronze Age stuff. So go check out his channel. We'll be back on Friday at 4 p.m. with James Lee to talk about his project. Dennis, give his project a shout out.
Yep. Steins, it looks really cool. Vampires. If you like vampires, you are definitely want to join us this Friday.
4 o'clock, and we'll drop a review of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania over the weekend after we see it.
We're looking forward to Saturday morning, so sometime after that.
That's right. And then we'll be back on Friday. So until then, everybody have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
All right. See everybody. Talk.
Retribution! Oh yeah, we want retribution!